Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. It's the move we've been waiting for. Stage 2 of our recovery from the coronavirus crisis is happening on Friday afternoon, seeing the easing of many restrictions. More people will be allowed in restaurants and bars, and shack owners can visit their holiday homes. But while Tasmanians are being encouraged to travel across the state, authorities say the threat is not over yet, urging the public to still follow the rules that remain.
Streets left empty and quiet, set to come alive once again, with the Premier announcing an early mark for Tasmanians.
I'm very pleased that there is strong confidence that it's safe to bring forward stage 2 and to ease our restrictions.
From 3 p.m. Friday, Tasmanians can visit their shacks, launch their boats and go camping. Non-essential travel across the state, banned for months, now strongly encouraged.
It's just going to be a fantastic opportunity for people to sensibly and responsibly start to enjoy this great state again. I would hope that we would see an uplift of people travelling around the state. I think many people are looking forward to that.
Locals also urged to visit the northwest region, the site of our worst outbreak.
This year to have this impact on us certainly has pushed us back a fair bit. This is an opportunity to come and have a look at the great sites that we have up here and to undertake a bit of activity.
But no interstate visitors just yet, with the border restrictions set to be reviewed in July. Many hotels now preparing to welcome back customers.
Well, it'll mean a quicker return to normal marketing and normal activities, so we'll be able to open up a few more rooms, I think, and we're really looking forward to giving people the opportunity to get out and about.
Visitors to homes increasing from 5 to 10, indoor and outdoor gatherings now up to 20, while up to 40 patrons can attend restaurants, pubs and cafes if space allows. Welcome news for many struggling venues.
We've seen some hard times through we've had to pay a lot of bills and things as we go forward as well, but without the income coming in, so it's important that we get our doors open, and with today's announcement it makes it all a little bit easier.
We've just been waiting for a date. The staff have been getting G'd up about it. We knew that something was going to happen that would enable them to start work, so this is really good.
But Labor says businesses need to reopen safely.
We'll be calling on the government to make sure they work really closely with the industry, work closely with the workforce to make sure that they can continue to open safely, welcome customers back safely, to revitalise the domestic economy.
I want to remind all businesses to finish getting their COVID safety plans in place. If you need to, go to the website or call the business hotline.
Gyms and playgrounds allowed up to 20 people, as well as beauty salons, some already flooded with bookings after being fully closed.
So we're already booked out for the first couple of weeks. Now, obviously, with us coming in a lot sooner, there's a lot more phone calls coming through. We've just got a buzz. There's an absolute buzz, and the staff are really excited about coming back to work.
The shift is more than a week earlier than first planned, although many other states began stage 2 yesterday. Here, we've had 17 days of no new confirmed cases, but authorities say it's not over yet.
We need to follow the rules. Observe the social distancing rules are in place. Practice good hygiene. Importantly, get tested if you have mild symptoms.
We need to keep looking for cases, so we do need to keep testing. As we increase that ability for people to mix, we want people to be aware of presenting if they have any symptoms.
Stage 3 restrictions are set to be reviewed later this month. Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
And Tasmania Police is hunting for 3 thieves who attempted to carjack a driver last night. The brazen incident occurred at 11 p.m. on Albion Street in Invermay as 3 men approached a driver of a Toyota Camry.
Over car keys. In the process of that, the offenders took off with a set of keys and a car fob, but the ignition key remained inside the ignition itself.
The men are described as being in their early 20s and wearing hooded jumpers. Anyone with any information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Meanwhile, a teenager and a 24-year-old man have been charged after allegedly stealing government cars. Police say the pair stole the vehicles from the Launceston General Hospital, claiming they made off with around 30 sets of keys from a security box. All of the stolen cars have since been recovered. Investigations are continuing in relation to a third suspect involved. The owners of a former Turkish restaurant have been forced to pay $100,000 in penalties for underpaying workers by more than $32,000. The restaurant, Anatolia, which used to be on the North Hobart Strip, no longer exists. The Fair Work Ombudsman says one international worker was shortchanged close to $25,000 between 2015 and 2016. The business has been ordered to repay all outstanding wages. Opponents of the Westbury prison have urged the government to immediately release a report into the proposed facility. The social and economic impact study is currently in the hands of Corrections Minister Elise Archer.
We'd like the report released immediately and in full so that we can be provided with the details that we haven't had for so long about why, what the arguments for and against this prison are.
The government says it will release the report after carefully considering it. There are concerns the COVID crisis is leading to long delays for buyers waiting on home loans. Agents say it's taking weeks for some loans to be approved. It comes as the state government faces renewed calls to ditch stamp duty.
Hobart's house prices are going up, and so is the wait for a home loan.
Where it used to be maybe 14 days, now it's taking up to 21, 28, and even up to 6 and 7 weeks in some cases, so people are being frustrated.
The COVID crisis and offshore services are being blamed for approval delays. If it becomes worse, the impacts will be felt beyond buyers.
The state government in particular does extraordinarily well out of stamp duty associated with housing, which is another issue, of course.
Stamp duty opponents say now is the right time to ditch the tax.
It's a regressive tax and it has an impact on building and purchasing of homes, not just in Tasmania but right across Australia.
Some states are considering the idea. Tasmania isn't.
I think what they've missed in the argument is that they will need to recover that revenue from another source.
Recent CoreLogic data shows Hobart's dwelling values have grown by 0.8%, just one of 3 capital cities in the nation to see a rise. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
A St Helens woman is $500,000 richer after striking gold in Saturday night's Lotto draw. She was one of 10 Division 1 winners, pocketing a total of $563,000. It's understood the woman plans to use her newfound riches to fulfil her lifelong dream of owning a property. It comes days after a Hobart man scored a $25,000 win from just a $2 scratchy. Construction workers are adding COVID testing kits to their toolbox under an initiative to keep the industry going. Hundreds of workers are being tested at 21 sites across Tasmania, and some hygiene protocols will stay for good.
Whether you're working at the top or the bottom, you're set for a test.
We're hearing from guys on site that knowing that they can have a COVID-19 test means that they're able to spend time with their families and keep working.
Tests are being carried out on asymptomatic workers at 21 sites. Even the boss isn't immune.
Yeah, it'll be an experience, but the guys said it was okay yesterday.
Industry body IncoLink, TasBuild and unions are footing the bill for the testing, which aims to keep workers on the tools as long as possible.
We were a little worried that some of the guys wouldn't want to buy into it, but it's been very successful so far.
Some hygiene practices will stay in place for good, with extra attention around flu season.
The government has announced that the construction industry will play a central role in their economic recovery strategy, and this is just another important step and shows a joint commitment by industry to support that strategy.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Second Tasmanian Football League has thrown in the towel on 2020. The Oatlands District Football Association, whose clubs include Campbelltown, Bothwell and Campania, voted to scrap the season at a meeting last night. The league says financial and safety considerations were at the heart of the decision. The ODFA was rocked earlier this year when Swansea and Oatlands pulled out. Both sides are hopeful of a return in 2021. Cricket and football have struck a deal to ensure both sports can go ahead in the state. Football will have priority access to most shared venues until the 11th of October before shifting to cricket. The handover will be earlier in mid-September at Youngtown and Queenborough Ovals to enable the turf wicket to be curated. Football competitions which end earlier than these deadlines will transfer to cricket as soon as possible. Tasmanian horse racing will have to wait until June 13 to restart, despite many other Stage 2 restrictions being fast-tracked. The state government says locking in this date will provide confidence and clarity to the industry, but the opposition has described the move as punitive. Controls around the number of officials, trainers and handlers will be enforced when racing resumes. 10 trial meetings have been held across the state since they recommenced a fortnight ago. After loading her car with 150 kilos of weights, Tasmanian cricket's newest recruit is spending an innings in isolation ahead of the season's return. Love and a passion to play at the top level have convinced Western Australians Heather Graham to make the move to Hobart.
After nearly a decade lighting it up in the West,
oh, she's on a hat-trick!
Heather Graham's move to Hobart has been a little less glamorous.
Into the third day of isolation now.
The all-rounder, who is also Australia's most recently capped women's ODI player at number 142, says she stacked her car with weights and gym equipment to keep up with the strength program.
So it was a bit of a slower drive on the way down with all that weight, but yeah, we got that down.
Graham comes off a tough season in the women's one-day competition, averaging just over 6 runs from her 7 innings for WA.
This season, I definitely need to improve with the bat. I think last season really let me down.
But there's another motivation for the move, her partner, wicketkeeper Emily Smith, who moved to Tasmania last year.
I had the decision to make if I wanted to stay in WA and I guess continue our long distance relationship or come across to Tassie and play for the Tigers. And I think, at the end of the day, it was a bit of a hard decision, but also an easy decision.
And hopefully for the Tigers, the right decision. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Good evening. A few showers over the west today with fine partly cloudy weather elsewhere. Hobart, Launceston and Devonport 15, Burnie 14 today. Friendly Beaches and Campania our top with 17 degrees. Grove 16, St Helens and Ouse 15, Low Head and the Islands 14 today, Smithton 13 and Strawn 12. Low cloud, mainly over the west with our best rainfall today, 13 millimetres at Mount Reid. More cloud with embedded thunderstorms sits over the Tasman Sea to the east, and low cloud over the Bight and southeastern states is there as well. We also have a trough producing cloud over Western Australia. Tomorrow the cold front pushes way to the east, allowing a large high pressure zone to slide right over the picture. Southwesterly winds across the state at 20 to 30 knots and up to 35 knots over the south and east. Swells up to 6 metres in western and southern waters. Gale warning for waters between St Helens Point and South East Cape, a strong wind warning for remaining coastal waters and for the Central Plateau lakes. Hobart expecting just 11 tomorrow, a possible shower, 11 also for Geeveston, partly cloudy for Bothwell, a high of 9. Launceston 12 the top and partly cloudy, bit of sun for Devonport, just 12 degrees the high and 11 for Cressy. Burnie, mostly sunny and 11 degrees, 11 for Strawn with a shower or 2, partly cloudy on King Island. St Helens becoming cloudy and 12 the top for Swansea, Orford a possible shower 11 degrees. And to the next few days, a cold start to Thursday with areas of frost transforming into a fine mostly sunny day. Showers over the west and far south on Friday, extending statewide during the afternoon. And on Saturday, fine for the southeast, a possible shower elsewhere with snow to 800 metres. Cloud clearing from Perth, partly cloudy over Adelaide, a possible shower and 14 degrees in Melbourne tomorrow. Windy but sunny in Sydney and fine for Brisbane. Bit of cloud over Hobart, 13, cloudy in Launceston 11 and clear in Devonport 12 degrees. Now Kim, with these COVID restrictions being lifted, I'm a bit confused. Does this mean I now have to go on our staff social get-togethers again?
Oh yes, goody, 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 and I will make sure I'll sit next to you at the next event. Thank you, Murph. That's your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.